care little weight around. Folks would nod when I walk by, look me straight there in the eye. But pride can turn a steady hand, make a fool of any man. One bad choice, then one more flame, ashes where I stood in shame. Whispers travel fast and low, truth gets bent wherever it goes. I stopped showing up on Sundays, didn't have much left to say. Sat alone in the back row once, felt like everybody knows. Head hung down, heart full of blame. He called my name, nah, he called my name. Not in anger, not in blame. He called my name when I thought I was too far gone, when I couldn't fix what I'd done. Through the guilt and through the shame, he called my name. Didn't come with excuses ready, didn't stand proud or steady, just a man with trembling hands, trying hard to understand why mercy walks where sinners fall, why love still answers when I call. I deserve the cold, the rain, but he called my name. Yes, he called my name, right there in my deepest stain. He called my name, didn't write me off the page, didn't close a book and read. Through the wreckage I became. He called my name. I heard it quiet in my soul, like distant church bells, soft and low. Not loud thunder, not bright flame, just mercy speaking my name. He called my name. He called my name when I had no one left to claim. He called my name. I'm still standing here today, not because I found my way, but grace refused to play the same. He called my name. He called my name. If you think you're too far down, if you lost your ground in town, there's a love that stays the same. He'll call your name. He called your name. Ooh. He called your name. lines upon this face, stories time could not erase. Some I'm proud of, some I hide, some still ache a little inside. I walk through joy, I walk through pain, sunshine bright and cold hard rain. Made my plans and watched them fall, thought I knew it all. There were seasons I ran wild, seasons I was just a child. Times I prayed with folded hands, times I didn't understand. I said words I can't take back, took some roads off the track. Still somehow through right and wrong, I kept holding on. All my years, through the laughter and the tears, through the doubt and through the fear, yeah, you were here. All my years, even when my faith was thin, even deep down in my sin, yeah, you were here. Buried friends and held my wife through the fragile parts of life. Watched my babies turn to grown, felt the weight of getting old. There were nights I feared the end, wondered where this road would bend. But every time my strength wore thin, peace would settle in. All my years, when the picture wasn't clear, when my prayers felt lost in air, you were here. All my years, through the battles I fought within, through the mess I wandered in, you were here. I don't stand here claiming clean, I've been weak more than I've seen, but mercy don't scare easy, man, it stays till the end. All my years, from the first cry to right here, from my youth to silver hair, you were here. All my years, and when my final breath draws near, I won't walk that valley in fear, you'll be here. I've got lines upon this face, but I've seen amazing grace. All my years, you were here. A coffee cup still on the shelf. Been 6 months now by myself. The side of the bed stays cold. Silence louder than it ought to be. Neighbors said time will heal, but time don't cook and time don't feel. I bow my head but I don't speak. Too tired to be strong, too weak to weep. I almost blamed you, I'll be honest. Almost said you took too much. Almost packed this Bible away, 'cause faith fell out of touch. Church bells rang, I stayed home. Didn't want to sit alone. Didn't want to hear he's good, when nothing in my life felt good. But in that chair by the window light, in the middle of another long night, you sat with me. Didn't rush, didn't preach, didn't fix what I couldn't read. You sat with me in the quiet, in the ache, every breath my heart could barely take. When I had nothing left to give, you just sat with me. No lightning bolt, no big display, just peace that slowly made its way. Not the kind that shouts out loud, but the kind that sits when grief gets proud. I still miss her every day. Some mornings I still break, but I ain't drowning like before. Something's holding me at the shore. You didn't take the pain away, but you stayed. You sat with me through the tears nobody sees, through the nights I dropped to my knees. You sat with me when I had questions with no reply, when I just stared at the sky. I didn't have the strength to pray, but you sat with me anyway. And maybe that's the miracle. Not that you stopped the hurt, but that you stepped into it. Not that you changed the story, but you refused to leave the pain. You sat with me, closer than the air I breathe, held together what was left of me. You sat with me, and if that's all you ever do, just stay when I'm breaking through. That's enough for this old heart to see. You sat with me. She's home now, and I'm still here. And I ain't alone. You sat with me. watched them crows one by one. Asked you for a straight, clear road, got miles I didn't want. I thought silence meant goodbye, thought heaven had moved on, but I was wrong. There were years that felt like dust, plans that fell apart, friends who drifted out of reach, questions in my heart. I said, Lord, are you listening? Did I wait too long? But I was wrong. You were working all along, even when I thought you don't. In the quiet, in the slow, in the no I didn't know, to every right and every wrong, you were working all along. Looking back with older eyes, I can finally see what I called a broken road was shaping me. Every tear and every scar made my faith more strong. It took so long. You were working all alone, through the nights that felt so long, when I couldn't feel your hand, when I couldn't understand. I was never walking wrong. You were working all along. If you gave me what I asked for then, I'd be someone else today. What I called delay back then was mercy in its way. Before I knew to hold on strong, through the waiting, through the pain, through the loss and through the gain, now I see where I belong. You were working all alone. Soul in heaven feels quiet tonight, and you're tired of being strong. Take it from this silver year. He's working all along. I built my life with calloused hands, chasing heels, making plans. Told myself I was doing right, while love was fading every night. Late nights on a silent phone, full house but I felt alone. Peace was something I couldn't find, too busy proving I was fine. My little boy stopped asking why. My little girl quit waiting up at night. She said, "You tired?" I said, "I'm okay." Truth was walking out the door that day. One more fight, one slam door, one I can't do this anymore. That's when pride began to bend. When I should have lost my home, grace stepped in. When I should have been alone, grace stepped in. Right at the edge of my own sin, right when I was sinking in, I didn't fall like I should have been. Grace stepped in. I knelt down on that hardwood floor. Didn't have big words anymore. No defense, no clever line, just a broken heart and borrowed time. Said, Lord, I can't undo the past, but if your mercy still can last, take this man I've always been and make him new again. When I should have lost my wife, grace stepped in. When I was done with this life, grace stepped in. Right at the end of my own strength, when I couldn't fix one single thing, he held the door I was closing in. Grace stepped in. Could have been papers on the table, could have been an empty bed, could have been waking up every morning with nothing left unsaid, when mercy had the final say. When I should have lost it all, grace stepped in. When I was headed for the fall, grace stepped in. I didn't earn it, didn't win, didn't deserve a second win, but right there in my deepest sin, grace stepped in. Grace stepped in. Oh, grace stepped in. Now I pray before I sleep, hold my family close to me. I ain't the man I might have been, thank God. Grace stepped in. Stubborn, two hard heads in one small room, screen door slamming every evening. Love felt more like a courtroom. Words like knives across the table. Pride too big to let it go. We both said things we can't forget, but didn't mean down deep, I know. There was a night I grabbed my jacket, keys shaking in my hand. She stood crying in the hallway. Neither one would bend. Could've walked, never turned. Could've let it all fall through. But something kept my feet right there. Something stronger than me and you. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't pretty, but mercy moved in that living room with us. He held this house together when we were tearing it apart. When the walls were cracking under, two unguarded hearts, through slammed doors and sleepless nights, through wrongs we tried to make right when we didn't know better. He held this house together. Years rolled on, the babies came, bills and worries, joy and pain. Some days strong, some days thin, but we didn't quit again. Gray in her hair, slow in my stride, still sitting side by side, looking back at what we survived. Lord knows we shouldn't be alive. Love alone wouldn't have made it. We needed something sacred. He held this house together through every heavy weather. When forgiveness felt too hard, when grace had to go farther, we learned how to kneel instead of shout. Learn what staying's all about, through forever and whatever. He held this house together. When I was wrong, he stayed. When she was hurt, he stayed. When pride got loud, he stayed and showed us a better way. He held this house together, and he's still holding now. Not because we got it right, but because we learned to bow. If you see us holding hands, just know it wasn't just romance. It was mercy strong as ever. He held this house together. 42 years, still here. He held this house together. You used to sit right by my side. little hands, eyes open wide, sang them hymns in a wooden pew, believed every word was true. Now your room's just painted walls, no more late night hallway calls. You say you got your own road now, I just nod somehow. I've heard the tone inside your voice, like faith ain't really your first choice. You talk like you don't need a thing, like life don't answer to a king. I won't fight you, I won't force, love don't run that kind of course. But every night before I sleep, I still drop down on these knees. I'm still praying for you, even when you don't believe like you used to. When you say you're doing fine on your own, when you don't call home, I ain't preaching, I ain't pushing through. I'm just talking to the one who carried you, no matter where you run to. I'm still praying for you. I know this world can look so bright when you're young and chasing lights. I've walked that road, I know that bend. Some turns don't look like dead ends. There were nights I broke God's heart, thought I was clever, thought I was smart, and somebody must have prayed me through before I ever knew. So I trust the same mercy now, it's reaching where you are. Somehow I'm still praying for you, through every door you wander through. When the laughter fades at night, when you're searching for what's right, you may forget what you once knew, but heaven hasn't forgotten you. Until the day faith feels true, I'm still praying for you. Every mile between us, I'm praying. Every doubt you're living, I'm praying. Every tear you don't show, I'm praying. Every place you go, I'm praying. I'm still praying for you, not from fear, but love that's true. I trust the seeds we planted then ain't done growing yet, my friend. And if I don't live to see the proof, I still believe he's chasing you till my last breath passes through. I'll be praying for you. You're still my child, and you're still is too. And I'm still praying for you. I'm still praying for you. Oh, yeah. They cleaned out my desk on a Friday noon, cardboard box in an empty room. 40 years in a steel-toed pair, now just silence in that chair. Drove back home quiet truck, radio low, feeling stuck. Man gets older, world moves on, hard to tell where you belong. Woke up Monday with nowhere to go, sat on the porch, watched the wind blow. Hands that built and fixed and saved, now just resting, feeling age. I told myself, you had your run, maybe now your time is done. But a voice cut through that noise, you're still mine. I still call you mine. Not by title, not by pay, not by what you gave away. Through every season, every line, you're still mine. I thought worth was what I made, measured checks I saved. Thought a man was what he earned, now I see how much I learned. Grandkids laughing in the yard, wife still holding my scarred heart. Maybe losing that old role saved something in my soul. You're still mine. Still mine. When your strength ain't what it was, you're still mine. Not by youth or by acclaim, not by fortune, not by fame. Before you worked and after time, you're still mine. Said I ain't through with borrowed breath. If these hands can fold in prayer, then I've still got purpose there. You're still mine. Oh, you're still mine. When the paychecks fade away, you're still mine. Sign before the grave and past the line, you're still mine. You're still mine. You're still mine. So I'll sit here on this porch tonight, not afraid of fading light. If and borrowed time, I'm still yours. You're still mine. chasing overtime and plans. Thought a dollar meant I cared, thought providing meant I was there. Missed a birthday, missed a game, told myself it's all the same. I'm doing this for them, I'd say, while they slowly slipped away. My little girl stopped holding tight, my boy quit asking me at night. My wife just stared across the room like love was fading too soon. House was full but felt alone, TV loud but no one home. I had everything money could buy, except the look in their eye. I knelt down by their bedside late, said, Lord, I think I'm too late. Voice shaking in the dark, with a broken, heavy heart. Bring me back home, Lord, bring me back home. Not just to a house with walls, but to the hearts I've left alone. Tear down the pride I've known, melt this heart of stone. If there's still a door half open, Lord, bring me back home. I ain't asking for a brand new start, just man what's torn apart. Teach these hands to hold, not chase. Teach these eyes to see their face. If I gotta say I was wrong, let that be my redemption song. I'd trade every dime I've made for the love I let fade. Bring me back home, God, bring me back home. Not to comfort, not to fame, but to mercy I disown. Break me where I've grown too strong, show me where I don't belong. If forgiveness still lives there, Lord, bring me back home. If my knees hit this wooden floor, let my family feel it at the door. Let my change be more than words. Let it be seen, let it be heard. I don't need applause or throne, I just don't wanna die alone. Bring me back home, yes, bring me back home. To the table I ignored, to the love I should have shown. If your mercy's deeper than my wrong, if your patience has been long, then don't let this be too far gone. Lord, bring me back home. I chase a world that almost cost me everything. Lord, bring me back home. mother gave me news last spring. Didn't like the sound of it. Bills stacked high on the kitchen table. Didn't know how I'd handle it. Truck broke down, roof leak rain. Pressure coming hard and plain. Some nights I just sat there staring, too tired for praying. I won't lie, I felt that fear whispering loud in my ear. Said, this is where you finally fall. You ain't that strong at all, but I've been down that road before. Face on that cold floor, and every time I hit that ground, mercy came around. I'm still standing. Yeah, I'm still standing. Not because I never fell, but because heaven held my hand through the fire, through the strain, through the loss and through the pain. Devil thought he had the win, but I'm still standing. Hair turned gray, steps got slow. Got more past than road to go. But I've seen too much to doubt what faith is all about. It ain't loud, it ain't proud. It don't always draw a crowd. Sometimes it's just a quiet man, still doing what he can. Oh, I'm still standing. Lord, I'm still standing. Not by strength, that's mine alone, but by grace I don't command. When the storm tried to roll me thin, when the wave came crashing in, it should have been the end. But I'm still standing. When my body says give in, still standing. When my hope is wearing thin, still standing. When I don't know how I'll win, still standing. By His mercy, not my spin, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Yes, I'm still standing. If you're breathing, there's a chance. He's still got a plan. Through the struggle, through the bend, through the breaking, He can mend. I've seen where my help begins, and I'm still standing. Not perfect, not proud, just grateful. I'm still standing. There was a bottle on the table and a mirror I couldn't face. Smoke hanging in the kitchen like a cloud I couldn't escape. I said I'm fine, don't told that lie so many times, but the man inside that mirror was fading line by line. Lost some friends I can't get back, broke some trust that won't come cheap. Mama's Bible on the dresser, covered up in dust and sleep. Every promise I made sober was gone by closing time. I was digging my own graveyard, one drink at a time. Then one night on that cold floor, I couldn't run no more. Shaking hands and blurry eyes, I cried my last disguise. He pulled me out, yeah, he pulled me out from the pit I dug so deep, from the chains that had me bound. I couldn't stand somehow when I didn't know how. I didn't climb my way to him, he pulled me out. First few days felt like fire, bodies screaming for the old desire. But every time temptation called, I heard a stronger voice than all. It didn't shout, it didn't shove, just steady, stubborn love. Said, son, you ain't who you've been, you don't live there again. He pulled me out, Lord, he pulled me out. Not because I cleaned up first, not because I figured it out. With mercy I don't deserve, with patience I can't count. I was sinking fast and hard, but he pulled me out. When the bottle called my name, he pulled me out. When I almost went back again, when shame tried to drag me down, he set my feet on solid ground. He pulled me out, yes, he pulled me out from the darkness I called home, from the wreckage all around. I ain't proud of where I've been, but I ain't going back again. My freedom didn't start with me, he pulled me out. 30 years I was a slave. One prayer, and everything changed. He pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out, he pulled me out. Sun rising morning is early now. Takes a minute just to stand. Coffee shakes a little in these weather working hands. Got more yesterdays than tomorrows. That's just how it goes. But I ain't counting losses. I'm counting what I know. I've buried friends I thought would stay. Held my babies on their first day. Made mistakes I can't undo. Watch the Lord bring me through. This life ain't been all easy, but it's been honest, it's been real. And through every turning valley, He's been closer than I feel. So when the evening shadows fall and I hear that quiet call, when my work is done and my race is run, when I lay these burdens down, I'm going home. Not because I earned my way, not because I got it right, but because He carried me through every fight. When my work is done, I'm going home. I ain't scared of crossing over. Ain't no fear in my chest. I've talked to Him too many years to doubt what comes next. If I close my eyes one night and don't wake the morning sun, that just means my wandering down here is done. I'll leave these boots by the bedside and stop into the light. When my work is done and my race is won, when this old heart finally slows, I'll go home. Through mercy wide and storm, through love that's led me on, I'll trade this faithful side. When my work is done, tell my children, don't you cry. There's no goodbye, just see you by and by. Every prayer we pray down here ain't wasted. They disappear. When my work is done and my song is sung, if my last breath speaks His name, that's enough. I've walked this road long and slow, and there's one thing that I know: He'll be waiting at the door. When my work is done, I ain't rushing, I ain't afraid, just trust Him. When my work is done, I'm going home. I'm going home. walked the road I chose myself. Put my Bible back up on the shelf. Sundays turned to working days. Slowly drifted miles away. Told my soul I'd be just fine. Didn't need no holy line. But late at night when lights went low, there was a truth I couldn't let go. I shook my fist at what went wrong. Said, if you're there, why's this so long? Close my ears, close my eyes, build my doubts up twice the size. Still somehow through all that mess, through my pride and stubbornness, every time I hit that dam, you never left. No, you never left. Tried to drown that quiet call with louder nights and crowded halls. Laughed too hard, stayed out too late, blamed it all on luck and fate. But mercy has a patient way of waiting through a man's delay. And right there in my worst defeat, I felt forgiveness at my feet. You never left. No, you never left. When I ran from what was true, you were closer than my breath. I was lost inside myself, buried under guilt and death. Let go, but you never left, yeah. Could've wrote me off for good, could've done what I thought you should, could've let me drift away till there was nothing left to say. But love don't walk out that door, not like I've seen before. You never left. No, you never left. When my faith was hanging thin, when my heart was out of breath, I don't stand here innocent. I stand here heaven sent. I strayed so far, but you never left. You never left. You never left. Now I bow my head at night, not because I got it right, but because I finally see you stayed through all of me. I walked away, but you never left. Chair still sitting by the window, coffee cup turned upside down. I still wait before the sunrise, half expecting you around. 30 years of me and you, now this house don't sound the same. Every room holds echoes, whispering your name. I still fold the Sunday bulletin, still park on our same side. Folks say time will heal it, but time just lets it ride. There's a picture on the dresser from when our hair was dark. Now I talk to you in silence when the day turns into dark. I'll see you again, I'll see you again. This goodbye ain't the end. I'll see you again when this road runs out of men, when this broken heart can mend by the grace that covers sin. I'll see you again. Some nights I feel you near me, like a hand I cannot hold. I thank the Lord He gave me all those years of growing old. We had our storms and hard days, said some words we both regret, but love outlived the trouble, and it hasn't failed me yet. I ain't afraid of getting older, I ain't afraid of pain. If heaven holds your laughter, then a day don't get it. I'll see you again, yes, I'll see you again, where no goodbye can break and no sorrow lingers in, where my final breath is spent, when my knees no longer bend. I walk through mercy's door, and I'll see you again. But I'll see you again. Oh, I'll see you again. different change on a Monday night. Tuesday looked the same. Bills still stacked on the table. Nothing moving in my name. I said, Lord, are you listening? 'Cause I don't see no sign. Heaven felt so quiet in this worried heart of mine. I sang the songs on Sunday, shook every preacher's hand, said God is good with a smile, but I didn't understand why the door stayed closed, why the tears still came, why the fire I used to feel didn't burn the same. But just because I couldn't see it didn't mean you weren't there. Just because I couldn't feel it didn't mean you didn't care. You were working all along, even when I thought you were gone. Behind the silence, behind the wait, behind every nod yet and too late, I was doubting, holding on. But you were working along. One day I look back over all the roads I walked through. Every closed door saved me from something I never knew. That job I didn't get, that move that fell apart, every broken season was shaping up my heart. Now I see what I couldn't have, now I know what I didn't know. You were building something better underneath the no. You were working all along, through the right and through the wrong, through the nights I lost my song, through the days that felt too long. I was weak, but you were strong. You were working all along. When I couldn't see your hand,
You were working.
when I couldn't understand,
You were working.
in the waiting, in the pain,
Nothing wasted.
nothing vain. I thought you left me on my own, but you were working on. You were working all along. Yes, you were working all along. Every tear and every fall, you were there through it all. Now my doubt has turned to song. You were working all along. I thought heaven was silent. Turns out it was just patient.